I rock with the Rockets, and I was a big Steve Francis fan, even though he was a turnover king. But I really, that was my squad. And the same with Tennessee was I started off as an Oilers fan. I say the Oilers got some of the dopest uniforms in NFL history. We could debate that. It's fine. But I still really got to those guys. And then, of course, when you think about the history throughout there, we had one of the only black quarterback who's in who most people mention in Warren Moon. So and then, of course, I just transitioned over to when they went to Tennessee because he didn't have a squad anymore. And then that's when we also went to the Super Bowl and lost the heartbreaker. But, just rocked with it ever since, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, people get on me because I grew up in California, and the chat room was kind of getting on you a little bit. Big L says this dude has more teams than Vince Wright, and Vince Wright, he's basically got a piece of memorabilia from every single team that exists. So that's the joke. That's the joke with him. LaDonna says this team's all over. He said, and then the ABM says Rockets fan. It's gonna end badly for him. But we're gonna get to that when we get to the playoffs.
Man, we going all the way this year, man. Best record in the NBA, man. We gonna be all right.
But I thought that was interesting because I grew up in California, so I was a big 49ers fan growing up. Joe Montana, Steve Young, Ricky Waters, all of those cats. And then I moved to Atlanta. And I was still a fan of the 49ers and the Bay teams, the Raiders. And now I've been in Dallas for 13 years. So I went to a training camp, and I was like, man, and some of these guys went to my church. So I'm like, I see these guys every day. Let me give it a chance. Now they've broken my heart plenty of times. But I'm a Cowboys fan. And I know that's completely flip-flopping.
Yeah, I was like, wait, hold on. That's almost like NFC rivals, man.
It is.
90s.
It is. But I fell in love with the team. Been to a couple of games, and like I said, they broke my heart plenty of times. So, but I'm a ride or die with the Cowboys.
Hey, man.
And I think
indoctrinated you during the Romo years, huh?
Yeah, even during the Romo, some people love, some people hate Romo. Big L says been BS3 from every city in America, right? I only lived in 3 cities, okay, in my whole life. But I think it's the love and hate for the Tony Romo will always go down as one of the greatest debates. Is he one of the greatest quarterbacks? No. Will he ever be considered that? Probably not. I don't even think he'll make it to the Hall of Fame. You had one playoff win in your whole career, so
yeah. My whole issue with Romo was I used to tell people, look, Romo is not a bad quarterback, but there's certain quarterbacks in the league. There's guys who are like Tom Brady, love him or hate him. You could put him with a bunch of trash and throwaways, and he somehow is going to still make it to the Super Bowl, and you're wondering how. And then you got other guys that have to play off other players. So I always said, if they would have got him a stable, balanced system, I think the Cowboys probably could have won a Super Bowl during the time he was a quarterback. But it just never really happened like that.
Yeah, it was too much up and down. ABM says, Ben, how can you go from the 49ers to a Cowboys fan? Watch your back. 49ers fans, including me and Andre Eden, are looking for you.
That's what I'm saying.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Things happen. Things happen in life that's sometimes hard to explain, and that's one of those things. But
that's like saying I'm gonna go from a Jets fan to a Giants fan.
Yeah,
and they're gonna be like, wait,
right.
what?
People don't do that. People don't do that at all. I do know that. So we can move to another topic. Okay, get off of me and the Cowboys. But let's talk about some interesting things during this week. Number one, I want to talk about Kendrick Lamar becomes the first rapper to win a Pulitzer Prize. When I seen that update on my phone, I was at work and I'm looking at it and I answer the phones. I'm a customer service rep, and I'm like, I can't even answer the phone again because I'm thinking this is beyond huge. And I normally don't. Yeah. I normally talk about Christian hip hop. But I had to talk about this. I had to put this in the show because this is bigger than anything. The first one to ever do it. His album spoke. That means it spoke to millions. That's what that means. When you win a Pulitzer Prize, that means it spoke to millions. But definitely need to get your thoughts on how you felt and looking at it and everything.
Well, first of all, I was like about time because I'm one of those people who feel like in hip hop we had some of the best writers come out, best storytellers, but it's just now starting to get the respect it needs. One, I do also put this out there. It was hilarious when they were trying to announce it. So the lady who was announcing, like when she first got up there, she kind of gave a look like, "Yeah, I'm gonna mess y'all up with this one." So we got Kendrick Lamar winning this Pulitzer, and it got quiet. And I was like, "Uh-oh." And then, of course, there was somebody else, they were talking about it on some news source, and the lady was like, "Oh, yeah, I'm secretly a Kendrick Lamar fan." I was like, "Stop, you just heard about him today." But
right, just now you heard about him. Exactly.
Yes. And I was like, but it is historical because you look at it like, when it comes to those type of winners, there are people who are composers, pianists, orchestras, and things like that. And now we got hip-hop. So... hey, big ups to them. I'm proud of them because that's a big move. Maybe now people will start respecting the craft a little bit more in the art form.
Yeah, definitely. And I think a lot of the songs on there is speaking to issues. It's speaking to what's going on, and I think it's transcending just regular rap. Like you cannot put this Kendrick Lamar album into a category with Lil Yachty and all these other cats. You just can't. It's above it, okay? It's above it.
Are you trying to say that Tekashi 6ix9ine is not one of the best artists we've ever seen in this generation? Is that what you're trying? Are you slandering?
That is exactly what we're saying right now. That is exactly. Me and my wife were actually talking, and we were like, these young guys, like I don't even know if they understand where it came from. Maybe they understand it, maybe they heard about it. It's expressing your mind, but at the end of the day, like this is the goal, to win an award like this, to where it speaks to the masses. That means young, old, that means kids, that means this spoke to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
no, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, I just, like, when it comes to, I don't know really what to say about it, because I guess I'm considered an old head now, because I'm in my 30s, but it's like, whenever you try to critique new age music, you're always going to be called a hater, which I never understood. And then it's funny, because a lot of people will use the excuse like, oh, well, these guys are young, but I was like, when I was coming up, I think Pac was 19, 20 when he really started, writing his music. I think Nas wrote Illmatic at 19, so I'm like, it's not really an excuse if you really look at it.
It's not impossible. It's not like it can't happen.
But I also look at it like this: the masses don't really look for lyrical music anymore. They look for just something they can just party to and something they got a dope beat. So I mean, it's the market as well. So you kind of in between on that one. So I mean, I understand why they do it. It's just frustrating to me, but
Yeah, no, I hear you. Shout out to Grego in the chat room. He said someone said Yachty needed a defender, so he. And Big L says never say Kendrick Lamar and Lil Yachty in the same sentence. I said it in the same sentence because it's on two different ends of the spectrum.
Man, what you talking about, man? Lil Yachty's best top 10. Easy.
But I think I'm becoming that guy. I'm becoming that guy that get off my lawn, old man, like sitting in the lawn chair, like, this is garbage. Get this out of here, little kid. Get this out of here, young man. Young man, let me see this record.
Man.
Let me turn this record over and read these lyrics, young man. That I'm becoming that, and it happens. It happens with age. It happens I think it happens to everybody.
It does, because like I remember, shout outs. This is one of my favorite lyricists is Black Thought, And I remember like earlier this year, Black Thought released. He did like a freestyle. I think it was on Hot 97 with, was it Hot 97? I can't remember which one. But when you read the comments, people would be like, "Oh man, it's dope," but I don't have time for all those lyrics. And I was like, "What?" I was confused. Like, what do you mean you don't have time for all the lyrics? Or it's like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know if people just don't want to. Because I remember we came up in an age where you had to kind of rewind the track, just be like, "Wait, hold on, what did he say?"
Exactly. You had to listen. Like me, I remember in college, like we would listen to the whole album probably in one day. Like whatever album we bought, and then we would like go back through every song, listen to it again to rehear the lyrics. And that's yeah. I don't know necessarily if I'm gonna do that with this music. It makes my head bob. I'm gonna definitely give it that. The beat is nice. Oh yeah. But at the end of the day, like, what exactly are you saying?
Look, I maybe this is also it too, because that was when you had to buy a CD. You had to actually go to a Best Buy or somewhere to purchase a CD.
Exactly.
And to put it in, so like at that time it was about $20, so you're gonna get your $20 out of this music. You listen to it for a month straight. For you can recite everything. You can say every double entendre. You will then start analyzing it. Like, oh, this is what he really meant. So you actually studied the music because, hell, I paid for it. Why not?
Right. Exactly. And we're talking with Chopping It Up with Q, host, also co-owner of the Critical Dump, Quinton Simpson, aka Q the Great, part of the X Squad. So today we got a different type of show. We can have different people call in at the same time. If you, this is what Key C uses. So I kind of stole this idea from him. But there's a call in number, there's an access code, and you guys can call in if you want to share your thoughts on whatever we're talking about. So we're gonna make this very interactive and interesting today. So I'll put that in the chat room in just a moment. Grego says Little Pump. Oh my God, that name. Said he doesn't care what the old heads J. Cole and Kendrick do. He's going to keep doing what he does and just have fun. They don't care about lyrics. It's making them money. Yeah, if it's making you money, at the end of the day, that's it. That's it. If it makes you money, you're not going to care if somebody wants to hear lyrics. And old heads, J. Cole is not that old. Kendrick Lamar is not that old. Like, what do you mean old heads?
They're 20 still.
It's like you 12 or something. Like, they're not that much older than you, bro.
Oh man, it's so funny because I understand that. Like, yeah, okay, you're gonna make your money, but your longevity is not gonna be as like. I was like, where is Trinidad James?
Yeah,
he was hot for a minute.
Right.
I'm like, they're talking about that, but I was like, you look at guys like Jay-Z who can drop an album in his 40s and still is a hit. So you're talking about, are you trying to get the fast money or you want longevity?
That's it. That's it right there. I mean, you summed it up right there. Big O says Kendrick is 30 now. He is old to a 12-year-old, maybe.
Yeah, I guess so too. So with 12. That 30 is not that old, dog. I mean,
yeah. So I'll put that info in the chat. You know, we're welcome to any calls. And I wanted to give a shout out to two rappers. I don't know if you guys know these. I don't know, Q, if you know, but Lecrae. Lecrae's, I'm a big fan of his. And for him, he started his own label, number one. Number two, he got signed by Columbia recently. He came out with a song called I'll Find You, featuring Tori Kelly. It went certified gold this week. Wanted to mention that. Also, Andy Mineo. These guys they really have to work harder because they're put under a Christian hip hop label, and they don't necessarily want to be clumped up in that because their music relates to everybody. And I think it's kind of a shift in Christian hip hop. But also Andy Mineo came with a song called You Can't Stop Me. Everybody go check that out. That went certified gold as well. That's huge for these guys because they don't tour the Madison Square Gardens. They don't tour the